Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to the second edition of This Brother Can Fly. Oh, state trooper. Name is Russ Kid. Everybody calls me Russ. But at any rate, I'm glad to be making this second video, second installment of this whole journey that I'm taking into aviation. I can't tell you how excited I am that I get to take this journey, that I'm in a situation where at some point, if all goes well and according to plan, sometimes best laid plans, but God willing, if everything goes according to plan, I will become a licensed pilot. And I can't tell you how excited I am about that. So in this video, what I wanted to talk about is, in the next step, is basically introducing myself to an actual airplane through something called a discovery flight. Now, a discovery flight, you might think that it's only about discovering what the airplane is like, what it's like to be in an airplane of that size, what it's like to actually fly the plane, and I did, and I'll get more into that. But the other part of the discovery was finding out who I was in that airplane, and that's a story in and of itself, trust me. So one of the things that I will definitely say on this journey, and unfortunately I did the discovery flight prior to having the idea of creating a YouTube channel so that you guys can share along with me on this whole process. So I've already done a discovery flight, and actually I've done two. And I'll explain why I did the second flight after I tell you the story about the first one. It was bananas! Anyway, I'll try not to get too over dramatic, but it was pretty crazy. So at any rate, one of the things that I definitely recommend that you do if you're on your own journey and you haven't done this yet is you absolutely start looking for a place, an airport that you can go to, local and close as possible, and do a discovery flight. And there's two main reasons why you want to do a discovery flight first before you do anything else, and especially before you pay any money to do any type of lessons. Because if you create this account, you put a bunch of money in there, you've never been on an airplane yourself, only to find out that you get up there and you do exactly what I did the first time, you will be sorely disappointed and you may not get your money back. I don't know. So, two things about a discovery flight that I think are relevant to this journey. One, yes, you do get to learn about an airplane. One of the things that was fun about the discovery flight was the pilot that took me, and he was awesome, took me around the airplane, showed me where to check for water and the gas, showed me how the controls worked. We did all of the kind of like pre-flight stuff of like checking the, I think they're called ailerons, which, I mean, listen, I'm still learning, but I think that's, how you use the turn, rudder, which kind of aligns the plane or something like that. Again, don't judge me. I haven't done this yet. But we did all of the airplane stuff. We looked at the steam gauges, showed me where the tachometer is, if that's what you really call it in an airplane. But suffice to say, we went through all of that kind of stuff. So that was important because it gave me a sense of what kind of plane I was in, what I was going to be looking at in terms of the experience, sitting in the seat, seeing the plane and the size of that itself. All of that was pretty important. But here was the real kicker. What this discovery flight meant for me the first time was I didn't realize I had any fear of flying. I've been on big jets and I've flown internationally. I've been to New Zealand. I've been to, believe it or not, Guam. I mean, I've flown to Japan. I mean, I've flown some long flights. I've been on some airplanes. But here's the thing that you need to understand about like a Cessna or a small Cherokee Piper or something like that. The difference between that and a jet airliner is almost the difference between, I would say, a big cruise ship on a nice calm ocean and a dinghy on the ocean in a severe storm. When we took off, I was okay. Got all tacked in, all that kind of stuff. My man hit the throttle. I was good. Man, when that airplane got up into the sky, oh my gosh. It was just the sensation of feeling everything. Like the air, the movement. I mean, the turbulence. I mean, this wasn't even turbulence. I mean, this dude is chilling. He's just flying, yeah, you know. And I'm freaking out. Ah, get this plane down. Get me out of here. Now, of course, I didn't do that because I didn't want my man to freak out. And of course, I didn't want us to crash. But that was definitely what was going on the inside. I had a full-on panic attack. I mean, it was it was kind of embarrassing. But here's the thing. Good to know that that was going to be an issue for me then with a licensed pilot versus I'm taking a training class. I get up there, I freak out, and they're like, dude, it's a wrap. This is not for you. So a discovery flight will show you not only what the plane is all about, but it'll also show you who you are in that plane. Do you have any weird, quirky things? Are you slightly claustrophobic? Are you worried about turbulence? And any of those types of things. So that's why I say you should definitely do a discovery flight. Now, you may be wondering, well, Russ, where did you take your discovery flight? Well, I'm glad you asked. Do you want to see where I did my discovery flight? Okay, I'll show you. Let's get it. So we're at the Philadelphia airport. Now, you might get that confused with like the Philadelphia International Airport, but this is an airport here in Philadelphia, and this is where I did my discovery flight. And you might have recognized this airport because this is where I did my first video. And I just wanted to show you that this is where I did my discovery flight. So let's go on in. Hopefully they won't get too mad if I'm filming on the inside. But I did my discovery flight here at Legacy Aviation. These folks were fantastic. It was a really great experience. These folks are really cool. And I'll just kind of show you.
That's why I'm so happy that the Eagles made me last night.
Hey, how you doing? So this is where I did it. This is a fantastic place. If you're in the Philadelphia metropolitan area, you definitely need to come check this place out. So yes, this is where I did my discovery flight. And as I was saying to you, the most important thing about a discovery flight is you will discover a lot about yourself in terms of what it's going to be like for you when you're in one of those. And so that's why it's important for you to come out, do a discovery flight so you can see how you're going to adjust. Because like I said, when I got in that airplane, I completely freaked out. The other thing that was kind of interesting about doing the discovery flight is I got like really motion sick. I don't get motion sick. That's not something that I necessarily do. But when I got in that airplane, for some reason, I thought, okay, if this dude doesn't get this airplane down pretty soon, I am going to decorate all of the instrumentation with Technicolor lunch and breakfast. I think that's what I had. But at any rate, that was one of the other things that I discovered about myself, is that doing steep turns, that was something I was gonna have to get used to in terms of being comfortable with being in an airplane and maneuvering like that. So that's why I definitely urge you to do a discovery flight, because like I said, you're gonna learn a lot about yourself. So my suggestion is, it's about $95, depending on, from anywhere from $95 to $130, and it's definitely well worth the money. And so, because of the fact that I had such a crazy experience on my first discovery flight, that's why I decided to do a second one. I was actually completely discouraged from wanting to fly the first time I did it, because listen, I don't want to be up in a plane and puking and all that kind of stuff. That's why I ended up doing the second one, because the first discovery flight was actually kind of tough, and sometimes you will find yourself having an experience that you didn't realize that you're going to have experience with. So if you do a discovery flight and you find yourself getting a little queasy, don't be discouraged. Come back. I definitely highly recommend Legacy Aviation. They're great people. They know what they're doing. I think those are probably some of the younger instructors there. So definitely come and do a discovery flight. And so after that, I did my second one, and I found out that after I did my second discovery flight, I did not get as sick as the first time. Still felt a little queasy when we were doing some steeper turns, but it definitely wasn't bad. And the other thing I discovered is, I really love flying. So do a discovery flight. If it goes a little weird the first time, don't be afraid to do another one. And that's exactly what I did. Again, costs about $95, $130, well worth the money. So I thank you for watching this episode of This Brother Can Fly. I hope that you will continue on this journey with me. I would ask that you like and subscribe and hit that little bell thing. Oh, another takeoff. Fly, plane, fly. So I would ask that you hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell, so then that way you'll know when I download the next video. My goal is to download a video every week, either Friday or Saturday, so that we can continue on this journey from my medical, from things about intimidation, things of that nature. So actually, in my next video, what I'm gonna talk about is, before we do the medical video, I'm gonna talk about fear and intimidation. Because one of the things that I found out is that when I was coming to figure out where I was gonna do my discovery flight, I was really scared to come out here. I didn't know how these people were gonna treat me. Were they gonna look at me like I was crazy? So we'll talk about that in the next video. After that, we'll get into the medical, and then we'll continue on from there. So thank you for watching, and I thank you for joining me on this journey. Peace.